Today on our show,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
turning up the volume 2
For a big Fat Man on Batman review. Today on Fat Man on Batman. That rhymed.
Yeah, nice.
Who's that in Poison Ivy's garden? It's Kevin Smith and Marc Bernardin. Two fat men on Batman.
Welcome to Fat Man on Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernardin.
Look at us here, man.
We're in
This ain't-
space.
What's this? This ain't the Fat Cave. Oh my God. Some guy just got blown in pieces over there and someone flipped a space quarter because that's all that life is worth right here in the Scum and Villainy Cantina, which is on Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard in
It's here.
Hollywood, California,
There, tell him where it is.
where dreams come true.
That's right. JC, who shoots our show, this is his bar, man. He's got this event bar that looks achingly familiar to something cool. If you go online, if you go to scumandvillainy.cantina.com, you can pick up tickets. Places open. They extended. It was only supposed to be open a little time, but it's been so popular. They're opening now until the end of June.
End of June.
So it's fucking nuts, man. Like if you're a cosplayer, this is Instagram clickbait heaven, man. You got yourself a fucking Mandalorian costume. You've always wanted to, but normally you're taking pictures like in your fucking bathroom. You're like, Boba Fett was there. What is that? The Sarlacc pit? That's a toilet. This is where you want to take your fucking pictures, right?
Totally.
Because, oh my God, it's crazy, man.
It's clawed out of my cerebellum.
What's
It's
crazy
real
is
one.
how it hasn't been shut down yet. I'll be honest. That's
Oh,
nuts.
we're going to help right now.
Oh my God. No, because at the end of the day, it's space neutral.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's suggestive, but it's not,
Yeah.
nothing infringes a trademark or copyright.
Like Captain Kirk would not be entirely out of place in a place like this.
No.
There have been space bars in lots of different pop cultural touchstones.
Absolutely.
This
man.
is just one of them.
And this just has some colorful water and weird shit. So
Yeah.
this is a badass fucking place. Marc was just pitching on the idea of what? Doing weekends for kids?
Yeah. I mean,
Saturday.
I would totally take my kid to a bar in the day. Bar in the night with the kid becomes a questionable parental decision. But for
Call the
lunch,
office.
yes.
For lunch, he suggested tater tots.
Fuck
I
yes.
suggested in this environment, I don't know, off the top of my head, for no good reason, blue milkshakes.
See, we got it. We figured it out.
We're going to get a taste. We just want to wet our beak a little. This is a good idea. His idea, and I'm pitching my wagon to his start. Okay, man, but this is the place you want to hit up. If you're anywhere near Los Angeles, or if you're like, you know what, I'm due a fucking trip. Come on out. This is a fucking cool idea.
And so it felt like the perfect place to talk about a space movie.
Did you hear that segue? Ladies and gentlemen, an artful segue. Normally it doesn't require someone calling attention to it, but that was so artfully done. I had to just drop all pretense and be like, Marc's great.
Yeah.
Tell him, Marc, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy V2. V2.
Oh, I'm on V1 still.
You're on V1.
I
She's a
watched-
fine girl.
V2, yes. That's right. This is all Brandy.
It's all Brandy.
Brandy, by the way, like this is just to bring it all back to me because fucking isn't that what it's about? Brandy in Mallrats, named for the same song.
Wow.
While we were in Clerks post-production, we'd drive around. We had this like Super Sounds of the 70s compilation that was on there. So when I started writing Mallrats, I wrote Brandy into it and stuff. So when that started the movie, instantly I fell in love. Instantly I fell in love with, look, Marvel, you can take every old ass motherfucker I ever loved and give him a facelift in the opening 5 minutes of a movie. And you can take all my money. I'll steal his money, and he's my friend, but I'll fucking knock him down and take his money, give you his money, my kid's money, fucking homeless people's money in cups outside. I gave a dude $1. I'll go back out, steal that $1, give it to fucking Marvel Films if they continue doing that.
The young, daffy Kurt Russell smile was my favorite fucking thing in the
It's a
world.
genius, dude. It's
Hey,
a genius.
having so much fun.
As I was sitting there watching, I'm like, God damn it. Like, they can't, this can keep going. This
No.
is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Robert Downey Jr., I guess, was one of the first, right?
Yeah, they did him in, what was that?
And what's his name? Ant-Man.
Civil
as well.
War.
Civil
Yeah.
War, but Ant-Man, Michael
Yeah.
Douglas, they younged him up and stuff. But, this is like, we get to spend a lot of time with Kurt Russell later on in the movie. Spoilers, Kurt Russell's in it. And to see the young version was really fucking...
With just the fucking hair just flowing in the breeze.
This
and-
makes me like, I think I met James Gunn half a second once, long time ago and stuff. But I was a big fan of Slither and stuff. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It is one of the probably one of the most perfect films ever made, movies ever made. It's entertainment. Call it whatever you fucking will. It's such a well-told story, so imaginative, so so perfect, and the soupçon of whatever it is he brings to it. Shit like in the first one, like, you know, little asides and shit like that. One guy's where Drax is like, I'm keeping this knife. And the guy's like, that's my favorite knife. Like shit like that is just genius and stuff. That makes me think that James Gunn has got to be one of my top 10 favorite directors right now. He's been responsible for a lot of entertainment I love. This movie was a tough fucking vault. Like how do you fucking touch the original? How do you even get close? And everyone's set up and all the charm is gone in terms of like the meet cute of it all. How do you fucking do a number two? That sounds dirty or sounds not dirty.
In the Sarlacc.
How do you do a number two in the Sarlacc? How do you make a number two? That sounds even worse. How do you follow that up with something that like gets close? You do something that equals the other. I loved it.
You loved it?
Oh my God, I loved it so much.
Shoot the moon, over the moon.
I just rewatched one this morning, and one is so fucking special. I cried more at one because, you know, where she's, Peter, take my hand. And he sees his mom. That still fucking chokes me up. That movie is fucking perfection. And this movie is damn close to perfection. Fuck ton of fun. They don't make them better than this. Like, I put it in the top 10 of Marvel movies they've made. But, you know, look, it would be tough to touch the perfection of one. It opens so emotionally, that first one. And then all of a sudden the fucking spaceship pointing at the kid. Like, you just go on an insane journey that I can only liken to when I saw Star Wars as a kid. Like, this is new. Or maybe Buckaroo Banzai too. Just like a completely new world of space where you were like, I can't believe this didn't exist before. So it was going to be tough to follow that. But for me, having just rewatched one, having seen two last night, he stuck the landing in a big bad way. I think he did a wonderful job. The dude's a visionary, clearly has a vision, and has a tone, and it's kind of run through all his movies, even back to the trauma stuff. You know, he's got an impish sense of humor. But by all rights, that movie shouldn't be as good as it is. And for me, there's a section in there, about 15 minutes, that probably could have benefited from editing or whatever, but I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't sitting there going, let's go. But in terms of storytelling, at one point in the middle of the movie, I was like, wow, we're almost done. And then I looked at my watch and I'm like, no, we got an hour to go. And then I didn't see where it was going. So that's a sign of a good story that I was like, oh, that's where we wind up in the third act? That's interesting. I hadn't called that. So I think he stuck the landing in a big bad way. And in terms of heart, they're still a warm bunch. And the father thing, I don't know why. I connect to the mom thing more than the dad thing. I had both my parents around me growing up, so I don't have either one of those things. But sick mom lying dying in bed. You know, I don't care who you are, that you connect with that on some fucking level. Not having a dad present or going like, I wonder what my dad was, that maybe I didn't have the quite as deep emotional connection as I did to the first one. But and that doesn't mean like, oh, it's heartless or anything like that. This movie has fuck ton heart. It's just tough to fucking touch that dying mom thing. And when they do touch it a little bit in this, it's achingly wonderful when Star-Lord gets mad in the third act. But I will say this, I just watched them both. I think this is a funnier movie.
It's funnier.
I think the first one is hysterical, and I just watched it fresh, and I literally LOL'd at a lot of fucking moments. But last night, I had a fucking ball, dude, and I was by myself. It was the most fun I had by myself since I jerked off this morning. He watched. That's why I could do that. Oh, yes. I was filled with joy the whole time. Like, he was able to push all my buttons. Now, yeah, there's stuff like, in the first one, the Nova Corps grabs me as a fucking 10-year-old in the heart and stuff. The what do they call these gold people?
The sovereign.
I don't have an emotional connection to them. But, when you spoilers,
Oh, we're gonna spoil many, many things.
Stan Lee's cameo, fucking wept. I wept, dude. They looked perfect. Oh my God. And I was like, I can't believe that's where we are. We're in a world where they could throw away a reference to the, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. Don't look at careers. The Watchers, Owatu. Like, oh my God, dude. That was maybe one of the, that since Darth Vader snapping on that lightsaber and going apeshit in the hallway, seeing the Watchers fucking talking to Stanley in a spacesuit, smell my eye. Like, I love this dude, James Gunn. He's smart, he's funny, good for him. So happy. Like, that movie made me so damn happy. And, you know, at a certain point, about halfway through, I was like, what galaxy are they guarding this time? And then by the second half, third act, then you know, they earn the name again this time around. Hands down, my favorite moment of the film, and maybe one of my favorite moments in a theater all year, maybe in the last 5 years, is fucking Michael Rooker as Yondu with the Yondu mohawk from the comics, from like issue 1 of Guardians of the Galaxy.
His prototype.
Yes. Oh my God. Seeing him like holding the arrow, is that what it is? Right?
Yeah.
It's whistling arrow. Can't even do it. And descending, and their exchange. Peter Quill going like, "You look like Mary Poppins," and he goes, "Is he a cool guy?" And Peter Quill goes, "Yeah, he's pretty cool." And Michael Rooker steals, like, my whole audience, dude, was a Los Angeles jaded crowd. And they all fucking applauded like it was a premiere when Michael Rooker said, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all," as he was descending. Holy shit. It was like one of the greatest moments in cinema history. So enjoyable. Anything that fucking Drax said this time around, boy, they nailed that character. They know exactly what they got there. Peter's storyline with his dad, for me, got a little spready in the middle, but not to the point where I was like, I'm lost or bored or anything like that. But let me see, who else? Who else can I blow? I mean, fucking Baby Groot is adorable. And they literally say in the movie, he's too adorable to kill. Everything with the characters was pretty damn fun and sweet. And like, and I sit there going like, wow, man, it's like, it takes a lot of people to bring that fucking thing to life. Rocket was wonderful. Gamora, and I thought they did some nice stuff with Gamora and what's her name?
Oh, Nebula.
Their storyline, that made me get all teary and stuff like that. But hopefully more for Gamora next time. I fucking love her, so I'll watch the whole movie.
She's great.
I mean, I like the character a lot, but I like that actress.
Zoe Saldana.
She's so damn good in everything, dude. As is homeboy who plays Peter Quill, Star-Lord.
Oh, Chris Pratt.
Fuck. God damn it. Don't you just want to eat him up?
He's
Even
made
as a man.
Made of charisma.
Oh my God. They fucking true movie star.
Fucking with the bar.
Yeah, don't fucking ruin Cantina, man. You'll suddenly the fucking first order will show up now.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Nice, well done. Good call. All right, I've blown it a lot. I'll keep going, but let's let Marc's been suspiciously quiet. And oh my God, I'm getting ready to tense up and be like,
where's the butt show up?
oh, here we go. How can you go ahead? You know what? You know what, Marc? You're an awesome storyteller. And I grant you the ability. You see things I don't, so go ahead. I'm not going to even ask how you could possibly find anything to pick on that wonderful, wonderful film, but go ahead.
I will say this. I enjoyed myself enormously at this movie. These are characters I want to be with and hang out with. These are actors I want to be with and hang out with.
Absolutely.
I will say that it felt a bit like Lethal Weapon 3. In that,
it's gonna be hard.
It almost doesn't matter what they do. I just want to watch them do it.
Okay, all right.
And it's like, oh, fucking Joe Pesci's back? Great, Joe Pesci's back. Renee Russo, yeah, I would love to. Her and Riggs together, they're really good. I like this.
Who is the Chris Rock of this movie then? Did he come in 3?
The Chris Rock of this movie is Sean Gunn, basically.
Oh, good call. Fuck. Sean Gunn took a big leap, but I mean, that's for those of us that don't watch the Gilmore Girls. Apparently
Right.
he's a big Gilmore Girls
And I
feature.
don't watch it either.
But I know him from the other
Yeah.
Guardians and from his brother's stuff.
But he gets
he plays Rocket as well.
yeah,
How adorable is that?
it's super.
And not just does his voice, but like fucking, I mean,
Mm.
Bradley Cooper does his voice in the movie. But I guess on set, he's the one going like, yeah, what is But he actually puts on the suit.
He puts on
and
with
fucking
little
goes around.
bells all over his face and
He's
shit.
tall.
I know. Magic. I will say that, like,
How easy it is to fool me. I'm a filmmaker. Like, but Sean Gunn's tall.
he's a giant
And Rocket is
person.
so small. This is why I ain't making the big movies. This is why I'm watching the big movies.
The first Guardians, which I love,
Yes.
much like you do,
Oh, Christ.
is fundamentally a movie about trauma. It's a movie about, like, Peter Quill. His fundamental trauma is snatched from Earth, mother died, never knew his dad. You know, Gamora's trauma is, I've got a father who I fucking hate and I've got to break away from, and my sister is trying to call me back to that family. Rocket's trauma is, they ain't nobody like me but me. Ultimately, grew
I
up,
didn't ask for this.
yeah, like you turned me into something awful and horrible. Drax's trauma is his family got
His
killed.
family.
So all of them are smarting or hurting from this pre-existing and to some extent current present trauma, and they come together as a family to heal that trauma together. Like that's sort of what this movie's about. This movie seems to be about hashtag family. Like, hey, so I gotta find my dad a little bit, you know? Like there's a lot of sitting around talking about family
Mm.
as opposed to actively pursuing that family, or
Yes.
in the case of Rocket, rejecting that family subconsciously to draw them closer. Like and it's a lot about that. It's a lot of the push and pull, but there are sequences with people sitting in couches talking about their family,
Mm.
which is a thing I didn't know that I wanted in a science fiction movie with spaceships and shit and rockets.
Especially when you got Mantis,
especially when you got Mantis.
who was incredibly fun as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fun to be had, but I feel like the core of this movie isn't as strong as the core of the first movie.
Who wrote this time around?
James Gunn did it solo this
Solo.
time around.
The last time around, there
Nicole
was an existing
Perlman-
script, but he came in and
Right, like he put his spin on it and made it his own,
Yeah.
and you know, after you can see the James Gunn in both of them.
it is what would be my, if I had to pick a bone with the movie, if I had a bone to pick with the movie, and I don't, but the thing that was like that didn't reach my, not expectations, but like, here we go, man, because
Mhm.
fucking one of the most fun aspects of the last movie was every one of those tracks was a piece of my childhood. This time around, not so much. You know what I mean? I was like, wonderful soundtrack, but
Mhm.
like there was not a lot of, oh, there's my jam. Oh, there's my jam. Oh,
Right.
with the exception of Brandy, which is perfection. And not only do they use it, not only does it open the movie well and set you in a place, but when Ego, Kurt Russell's character, Ego, the Living Planet, which everybody must know that by now.
Mhm.
And again, fucking spoilers.
Yeah, if you're watching this, you know who Ego the Living Planet is.
Him quoting Brandy, like, you know, and using it biographically was just so moving. And as was like when he was talking about Peter's mom and he referred to her as something like, not Tiger Lily, but Water Lily or something like that. But then he said she knew all the words to all the songs on the radio. That made me glass up. Like, that's a beautiful fucking sentiment. Whoever wrote that sentiment is a real human being who thought that at one point. Like,
Yeah.
one of my favorite aspects of this person is that they can sing every fucking lyric to every song on the radio. Shit like that. You put in enough of that, you could sit on couches and discuss family.
Yeah. I mean, and
I don't care.
yeah. I mean, I was missing a sense of drive through the movie.
Yeah.
You know, the first movie is we got to get this fucking ball. Inside the ball is an Infinity Stone, and that's whatever. We got to keep this out of Ronan's hands, or they'll give it to Thanos, and awful shit will happen.
And which, to be fair, like having just rewatched it, almost all of that is like, I forgot most
Yeah,
of that.
I mean, it's all
I forgot Ronan, the accuser.
it's all MacGuffin-y bullshit. It's all just like we gotta move the ball and just keep it going.
It's like a charming sitcom.
Yeah.
Like Cheers, where you fucking love all those characters. But, you know, on Cheers, they crank out like 22, 23 a year. So, you know, if you don't like one, wait a minute. There's another one coming.
Yeah.
This is like, as Marc said, you get to spend time with people you love. And this time, this is the adventure. And, you know, is it as strong as the last adventure? Like,
Right.
like he's pointing out. There's some missing drive. from
Right.
that
Like I was missing them stealing a thing or guarding a thing until you
Which
got.
technically they did both.
They did both. They steal a thing in the very beginning,
And guard a thing.
and they guard a thing at the very end, and then you're just kind of missing a thing in the middle where they're doing anything. But because you love these characters, you're totally down. Like, what are you gonna do? Why fuck talk about his dad? Yeah, shit, yeah. And Nebula gets way more to do, and
Lots more.
that whole sister relationship is kind of sweet.
And she's fun to look at. Just
Yeah.
like the Nebula character. I've last night in the theater, granted I'm a stoner, but last night in the theater and this morning as I was watching, I was like, the intricacy of that fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
How nobody got nominated for an award for that? You know, I
Right.
just like Groot is amazing, but it's a bunch of people
Mm-hmm.
doing this shit. But Nebula is old school fucking
like prosthetic effects and old school. Ain't no school like old school.
So yeah, I kind of fell down the Nebula hole where I was just like, wow, man, look at
Yeah.
that shit. How long does that fucking take? And then to act through that as well. Then I saw a clip of a real lady online.
Yeah, she's great.
She doesn't fucking look a thing like Nebula too.
No,
It makes you go like, what a great actress she is.
She's Scottish.
Yeah, she's Scottish as fuck.
She was one of the companions in
Funny
Doctor Who.
accent. And who is the what's her name? Mantis is also not from this country.
She's French.
Palm? Is that her name?
Yeah, she's French. She's half Vietnamese.
Oh, that character was wonderful. And they, you know, they could they have used her more? Sure. And will they in the future? Fuck, I hope
Probably.
so. But every moment with her and Drax was magic.
Yeah. I mean, and
She looked great too. Just the antennas and stuff. I saw a photo because the whole time I'm watching the movie going, where's the effect begin? Like, you know, clearly something's CG. So I'm like, what part of it? And I thought maybe like they did the
eyes
entire
or something.
thing. There's bases of antenna, and then they added these.
That's it?
Yeah. But she and the eyes, I imagine they must fuck with.
Yeah.
But she looked fantastic and sweet character. And like, you know, him going like, you're disgusting. And then like coming around going, you're beautiful inside. He was fantastic.
They gave Drax a lot.
Oh my God. And with good reason.
Yeah.
Batista fucking crushes it. And like, you know, everyone will be like, oh, fuck yourself. You're in the bag for this shit. In a perfect world, that dude would get an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Hands down. You have to sit through all that fucking makeup and still be funny and supportive. Oh, I thought he was wonderful, dude.
Yeah.
Everything came out of his mouth. Fucking had me rolling, had me just doing this.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the storyline of that movie that I most found myself gravitated towards was Yondu's story. Like, and partially because Yondu's story gets to, spoilers alert, it gets to end.
Ooh,
You know, and like the problem with the middle sequel is that you know that nobody's going to die. You know that nothing's going to happen to anybody. It's the fourth episode of a TV show.
When did you figure out that he was gonna kick?
You know, like I think it's when he gets the fin.
I'm emotional thinking about it. It's so good.
I think it's
really good. When you really?
I think it was like the this is
When he gets to kill everybody, you're like, they're not gonna let him live after this.
No, I think you're cool. You're down with that because it's an amazing fucking sequence. And Yondu is supposed to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
And so I don't bump against a bad guy doing bad guy things. It's once you realize why he's that person, once you realize the trauma behind what his life was about and how that resolves itself. And it's about his redemption and it's about him realizing that his actions have forced his family away.
You're gonna make me fucking cry, dude. That is the movie, right?
That's the movie.
Which is weird because
That's part of my problem is that Peter Quill is not that movie. It's Yondu has the best story in this movie.
Peter had that movie last time.
He had that movie this
I was thinking about it as I rewatched one this morning. It's like, you know, with the exception of I Wonder Who My Dad Is, which is a mystery to solve, they gave him a perfect character arc to build him into what he needs to be for the rest of the series. If they elected to do a different character, I'm not even saying like the main fucking team, like who would have saw that Yondu was the most moving part of the storyline? If they did that every episode or every fucking movie where they're like, now let's focus on this motherfucker, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, and that does speak to, I mean, we talked about it years ago, my larger theory that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is one big TV show. And that these are episodes of that TV show that will all build towards Sweeps Week and an Avengers movie. And then you'll keep going to episodes. Yeah. This felt like the Yondu episode of the Guardians of the Galaxy TV show, where he gets the big heart, he gets the big moves, he gets the big, you're going to cry because Yondu dies. Yeah. And the awesome funeral scene. Spoilers. But sorry. You spoiled Watchers, I can spoil Yondu.
That's true.
We all get a spoil. But yeah, and And I love that bit of it.
The
I loved all
Ravagers
that
showing
stuff.
up. All that shit was like,
Yeah.
really moving. And that was a tough act to follow with the first one because the first movie has Groot. We are Groot.
Yes.
And that's like you're fucking dying by the time, and the movie takes you on a real emotional roller coaster because you get really emotional and crying and shit. And then he does the dance off, and you're like, oh my God, this is fucking good. And the dude, who plays Ronan actually is pretty fucking tight, man. His reactions, like rather than just like are legit, like, what are you doing? Like really fucking
I don't
lost.
understand.
And then they take you back into emotional territory when he sees his mom and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, that's Yondu gets every one of those beats and gets to play one with Peter, gets to play one with Rocket,
and with Groot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because Groot's on that ship at the end. Groot gets him the fin, so he gets a nice little...
It's awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Fucking go get this.
How does that look like a fin?
Yeah, that's a desk. And then, his kind of explanation to Peter, like, the whole, he may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy. Like, Rooker crushed here. Rooker deserves a fucking best supporting actor nod.
I would absolutely roll with you on that.
He fucking fought me on Batista.
I fought you a little bit on Batista.
You're hard. You're tough. But yes, I would definitely give Rooker one as well.
Yeah, like, and all of this is to say, again, I really enjoyed going to see this movie.
Yeah.
But, like, here's why I don't love it the way I love the first one. Because the first one does all of these things so incredibly well. And it's so complex to tell that story with 6 main characters. And half of them aren't on stage. And you've got to give emotion to everybody. And everybody's got a story that's got to weave together and dove together by the end.
And it's got a lot of, like, space porn in it, too. Just for, like, look at all these ships, which you tend to forget about.
Totally. But yeah, like, this is
amazing balance.
This is a really good sequel to a movie that I love to death. And it was never... It's hard to name the sequel that not even meets, but surpasses how you feel about the original. There's got to be like Empire, Godfather 2, Dark Knight, Aliens, like...
Ooh, good pull.
Terminator, like you can name them on 2 hands.
Terminator, though, is, Terminator is an amazing fucking flick. And Terminator 2 is an amazing fucking flick. And it's not like, man, they fucking improved upon some bullshit. I guess maybe Terminator. Yeah, that's a tough one, though. Both of those movies are fucking
they're so smart. Both of them are really smart. And what the second one does by adding technology doesn't in any way invalidate the first movie that you saw.
All right, wait. So do Marvel follow-ups, Marvel second movies. Is this better than Dark World? Yes.
This is their best second movie.
There you go.
Like it's better than Iron Man 2. It's better than Thor: The Dark World.
I like Iron Man 2, I don't. Well, this is definitely better than.
I don't know if it's better than. I don't think it's better than Winter Soldier. I think Winter Soldier is still a better movie.
Good point. That's pretty. But this is more enjoyable than Winter Soldier. It just makes you smile the whole time. Different kind of comic book.
Totally.
Different flavor.
Yeah, like they're aiming for different things, but I think the Winter Soldier, objectively, is a better movie than this is. But yeah, all of this again is to say, did not hate it in any way. I'm not shitting on it in any way. It's just like here's where I, as a viewer, just began to like bump a little bit. It's like, okay, no, I'm having a good time.
I'm trying to think what else I fucking loved about the movie. I did like seeing Stallone. I did like seeing the original Guardians lineup at the end.
Do you think that we see them? Are they setting up something else for us? Are they setting up? Because again, you don't cast Michelle Yeoh and Ving Rhames and Stallone as the OG Ravagers or the OG Guardians.
As the OG Guardians.
Like, without some plan to do something with them later.
Look, I hope so. But, you are talking about the filmmaker who ended the last movie with like, oh, by the way, here's Howard the Duck. And you're like, what? And, so James Gunn seems to deep dive love this Marvel shit as much as the fans that go see the movie. So, it felt like that felt more to me like oh my God, can you imagine? We kind of redid the fucking cover to issue 1. Like, here's the original lineup minus Yondu. The same way, what's the Russian dog, the cosmonaut dog?
Oh, fucking not.
pops up the same way, Howard the Duck, same way, like how we thought in the last one we saw Adam Warlock's cocoon, but now at the end of this one,
we see it.
we flat out know that it's Adam somebody. It better be Adam Warlock. It just feels like he's a guy that paints with a fan brush.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's like, oh my God, if you got to do, like, they did a sequence, that Instagram face bulging sequence where they're bouncing through different quadrants.
Yeah, in this bar. But yeah, they're jumping through the wormholes and
you could have, like, in the hands of a lesser filmmaker, myself, we would have done like 2 of those and been we kept it going and stuff, and that's what gets you to like moments like, oh shit, it's the Watchers. Oh shit, playful things like that. That's I'll take that guy. Keep him in the fucking Marvel universe. And they've already announced
Guardians 3.
So will he be the first Marvel filmmaker that does his own trilogy?
The whole soup to nuts? Yeah.
Because Favreau did 1 and 2 of Iron Man, didn't get to do 3.
Mm-hmm.
Whedon did 1 and 2 of Avengers, does not get to do the new ones.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier.
Johnston did Captain America First Avenger. Didn't do these other 2.
So James Gunn may be the first
He's the continuity
Marvel director I'm going to finish my trilogy. And hopefully it's not a trilogy. And hopefully they let them just fucking keep going. Because they're charming characters, man, and handled insanely well. Is there anybody we left out that we should give love to?
I don't think so. I mean, I think
I missed the Nova Corps. I fucking loved the Nova Corps last time. And John C. Reilly. They didn't have like that guy.
Yeah, and the Peter Serafinowicz guy who was the lead pilot.
Yeah, it was like, what a bunch of a-holes.
I loved, like,
they did throw one line though. Did you hear that one line? He's like, when they're going to Ego's planet. And I think Gamora's like, you're half Terran. You've never wanted to go to Earth. Because I was sitting there watching the movie going like, I wonder if they'll ever go to Earth. And he showed no interest whatsoever.
I love the opening sequence. The opening, like that and the Yondu killer space pen were my 2 favorite visual sequences. Like, there's just poetry in both of those.
You talking about the Beast coming to get the batteries?
Yes.
I thought you meant the flashback to young Kurt Russell.
No, I meant like just
I like that, but I'll be. You're talking about
like just the Baby Groot foreground, all of the shit happening in the
background.
Yeah.
Very cool idea, but I liked it, and execution was not just executed; it was elevated. But I preferred the simplicity of the opening of the last one with him by himself. It was unexpected.
Right.
Like, it starts very emotionally. Then all of a sudden we're in space 26 years later. It's very Raiders of the Lost Ark in space. Then all of a sudden he pulls out the fucking Walkman and starts playing Come and Get Your Love. And, you're like, holy shit, where are we? This felt like, that opening sequence felt like, all right, they love that band, Dancing Baby Groot. They like when fucking Drax caught him, so we'll do that. It was basically a greatest hits of the last movie. Yeah. During the credits, which is like, fine, you want to give me a movie and it's entertaining because you had Dancing Baby Groot in the foreground and stuff. If you want to give me 4 or 5 minutes of that, I'm all for it. That being said, I preferred Chris Pratt dancing by himself.
Well, this doesn't, because that thing, the Chris Pratt dancing by himself plants such a stake in just, here's what this movie is. Tonally, here's what you're going to get. It's going to be funny. It's going to be pop culture. It's going to be like throwback 70s tunes. A dude's going to be dancing and alien shit. Like, it's setting the tone in such a brazen fucking way.
Right.
At this point, we know the tone. Yeah. So now we're just having fun.
So now it's just like, I'm going to show you something you've never seen before, which is a really cool idea of like, that action sequence means nothing.
Yeah, that every other movie would invest all of your attention in for 10 minutes. You're here with this.
We're going to show you this guy.
This plant dancing is what we're here for.
This plant dancing. I wish they could keep him as Baby Groot forever, but it looks like they're going to hold him up again.
I mean, teenage Groot.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Whoa. Really, Groot? The fucking branches everywhere?
I'm Groot. Once again, Marvel has done it. Like, run out, spend your fucking money. This is what movies are all about. When old timers like us go like, oh, back when we were kids, Raiders of the Lost Ark and fucking Star Wars and fucking Superman. We're in that golden age right now because this movie stands shoulder to shoulder with any of those movies as far as I'm concerned. In terms of sheer joy that I had seeing in a movie theater, letting it wash all over me, I'll be honest, I literally thought about going to see it one more time before we did this review at 9:30 this morning. And I only went to see it at like 8 o'clock last night. I was so fucking hyped to see this movie. So I get there. This is going to sound braggy, but I don't know. I got to tell the story. So I don't even have to tell the story.
Tell the story. Do it.
I get there, and it's like 5 minutes too late for the 7 o'clock show. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go to 7:30. I'll go out in my car, fucking blaze, and then go watch the movie and shit. It'd be even better. Fucking, I hadn't planned on that. Free weed all of a sudden. So as I'm heading out of the car, a lot of people, obviously cats that would go see this movie, clearly we share similar interests. So there was a lot of, hey, let's take pictures and stuff, which is nice. That means I'm doing my job correctly. Then there are these 2 kids who were taking a picture, and they're like, I said, you going to Guardians? And they said, yeah. I was like, I'm going 7:30. You going 7:30? And they're like, no, we're going 11:30. And I was like, 11:30?
Why are you here?
At night? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why 11:30? Like, oh, we just bought the wrong tickets. And I was like, you guys want to go earlier? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, let's go in. And so I bought them tickets so they could go at 7:30. I said, take your 11:30s. Pat, what do they call that shit?
Pay it forward.
Kevin Spacey, that shit. Pay it forward, man. It just felt weird that they'd have to sit around for 4 fucking hours outside the movie theater and shit while we're all having a good time. But that's how enthused I was. I was like,
although that does sort of make me
tickets for all. Tickets for 2.
Makes me harken back to those glory days as a kid when you actually had to wait online for a movie.
Yeah, I haven't had to do that in a while.
No,
it would irritate me if I did.
Yeah, I mean the I can pick my own seat alleviates the desire to have to do that.
Thank God.
But I have super fun memories of in 1992 waiting for hours to get into the first showing of Jurassic Park or Terminator 2 or The Fugitive or whatever it was. We're all here, guys. We're all fucking here.
I like the line in theory, but I don't ever want to fucking
not in practice.
I went to ArcLight last night and they started these shows. It might as well have been Friday fucking night, dude. They call it a preview, but it's like 7 o'clock there was a show, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, and 8 o'clock. They just line them up like fucking jets, and a few of them were 3D and shit. I went 2D.
2D?
I'm old school, as you know.
Nice.
There it is, man. Go out and support this kind of thing. Fun movie making.
We guarded the galaxy.
They regarded it again. For their left arm, they use left guard, and for their right arm, they use
right guard.
Wow. Grammar school joke.
Well done.
There it is, folks. For Batman, I'm Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Marc Bernardin.
Come back, see us next episode. Same fat time, same fat channel. Smodcast.com or
youtube.com/Kevin Smith.
Scum and Villainy, Ken Dean Bar.
Woo! Pew pew.